Hey, how's it going? It's Grant with the Garden of Eater. Shelby will be joining me, so don't worry. It's not just me tonight. She's just getting ready. We've been super busy. We just got back yesterday from Aquaticon in Tennessee, but don't worry. We'll be going over everybody's shrimp questions, any plant questions as well. We're going to tiptoe into a little aquascaping and whatnot tonight as we go through and talk about some of the things we did at Aquaticon, some of the things we did in Tennessee as well. And then, of course, when Shelby gets back, we'll go through and say hello to everybody and start answering questions. But until then, I thought I'd just talk about real quickly why we're like so far behind. Tennessee, Knoxville was hosting Aquaticon, and they were a one-day show. It was on Saturday. It was their very first show, so we really weren't expecting quite a big turnout, but it was really nice. A lot of people there, a lot of people from all over. Some people that said they were there just to meet us, which was really cool. They got a lot of shrimp, some plants, and we talked for a little bit. And then someone even gave Shelby some isopods, and they're quite larger than the other I'm sorry, I didn't even have time to give myself water. But they're quite larger than the other isopods that she already has. So she's got to set up something for those still. But we got back from Tennessee about 8 o'clock last night. After the expo, we went over to Aqua Marine. It was one of their local pet stores. It was really neat. Here in Florida, we have a lot of really nice fish farms and local breeders and stuff like that. However, not many very nice fish stores. The ones very close to me are just very full of blackbeard algae and whatnot. And we have to travel at least an hour, hour and a half before we find something decent. So it was really cool to find a pet store with passion and a nice selection, some very healthy animals as well. Hey, Spaghetti Nan, GK Aquatics, how's it going? DJ Owen, Jeff Kane, Jamie Anderson, Rico Stan, how's it going, man? How are you doing? Frank and Sandy, how's everyone doing? Usually Shelby says hello. She is still getting ready, but she will be joining me. The empty seat will be filled, hopefully soon enough. But yeah, we had a really good time. It was a really good turnout. We had kind of a goal in mind on what we wanted to meet to make it worth us traveling there. And we met that well into half the day. So it was quite a nice experience. And we met a lot of nice people. We met Fanatic Freaks. And then I got to meet Suzanne in person and a couple other of the fish fam that I haven't heard of. And I'm horrible with names. But I can't remember if it was the Cichlid barn or the fish barn. But I remember it was a barn. Ed told me a story about them going to some barn and they had to take pictures with him. So I just can't remember. I think his name is Mike. I'm horrible with names, especially when we take such a long trip. We're driving, and the day before, sadly, Shelby got called into work. She tries to take the day off before the travels the day before, so that way she can help get everything ready, especially when we have a table or a booth. This was only our third trade show. We've done a few little swap meets and stuff like that, but for the most part, we're still learning as we're going, but it is quite the experience. But welcome to the show, Shelby. How are you doing? Y'all ready? Oh,
sorry.
Cause a scene when you show up for sure. But I was just talking about going through Aquaticon and the trip, and basically you were called into work, and I was in a frantic rush to start packing things without her. And she's kind of more of the organized one, where I'm the one just like rushes to get everything done, and I tend to overpack when that happens. So I way overpacked a bunch of bulbitis, a bunch of Java ferns, and a few other things. And like I said, we're always learning. So we figured out like some of the shrimp we really shouldn't bring to the shows, like snowballs. But we got lucky. There was somebody local who wasn't able to make it to the show, and he ended up buying all of the shrimp at the end of the show. So thank you, Will, if you're watching. But that was really cool. So I just came home with a bunch of plants and not really stressed out about throwing them in the tanks or finding new homes for them. They're really hardy Java ferns and moss, and they can survive in those bags for quite some time before I got to pack them up. So we were kind of able to coast home. Shelby actually did most of the driving. I fell asleep, and next thing you know, the GPS woke me up and said we're 28 miles from Northcliffe, and yeah, that was kind of nice. So we had kind of a nice drive compared to what some of the other expos are, but there was quite a few accidents that we had to get through, and that was just very annoying. And we came home with quite a few tanks. We drove up there with Shelby's Aquascape tank. If you were with us on the last stream, you guys got to decide whether or not we kept the taro plants in there, and she champed it up, left them here, and it was a great tank. She got so much attention. Not a lot of people taking pictures of anything else on the booth, but a lot of people took their phones out and took video or pictures. And one of the great things about the tank was I actually packed a lot of things that she kept in the tank, because I knew people were going to ask me what that plant was, and we brought it there. Some of the mini Crypticorn Parvas, I don't think those really would have sold well unless people saw them up in the front of the tank, because they kind of look real super tiny. Like, what is this going to do for me? And like, they're really worth a lot more, and we were only selling them $1 a piece. But I think that's a really good show deal. A lot of those plants we don't sell on the website and stuff like that, just simply because like the bulbitis, Shelby tore it out and she's throwing it into a tank. I'm like, don't rip it apart. And she's like, no, we're selling this. I'm like, no, I'm losing it. But I guess that's like revenge for me selling all of her Java ferns. So it'll work out. But we almost sold all of the bulbitis. It's all gone now. It's all taken care of. We just got a bunch of spiky moss and Christmas moss, and that's all cool because we got a bunch of empty tanks up here. So if we have to throw it all into one tank, it'll do well in there until the next show. And it really does grow super, super fast for us. So it's going to be in bunches, and we'll be able to do good show deals on that in the future as well. So I said hi everybody to Sandy. So
hi Sandy too.
And then that's great because our next show is going to be the Triple Crown, and then the next week after that is going to be Dallas, and we're trying to do a booth at both. And that's really going to be the main tester, because we're also going to try and do AGA and Chicago Aquashella, but the week before those is the Keystone Clash. So we're trying to do all three of those week after week after week. And
week before?
yeah, 3 weeks in a row. So we'll be finding out if we can do 2 booths back to back. Maybe we just do a booth at the Keystone Clash, and then we go and just enjoy AGA, maybe try and do some aquascaping, prepare for the next week, because the following week is the Fluval Aquascape contest, and we qualified for the finals with that. And that is a $5,000 prize for the winners. And that would be split 4 ways with Shelby, myself, Brian, and Chance, Brian Covey, Chance Kramer. So, and if you guys aren't already following Chance Kramer over at Aquascape, or no, it's just Chance Kramer on his YouTube, but his site and everything on Facebook is Aquascape, and he's got some really crazy plants that he's letting go of too. So if you want to check those out, but you want to say hi to some people? I've been talking for almost 9 minutes straight.
Hi everyone. And Ray, I see.
I want to say
Lewis.
Special thanks to Ray.
Yeah.
You really helped me out at the show. We were not as prepared as we should have been, but yeah, you're a big hand then.
It's always nice to see a familiar face as well. So
and sorry we got you mixed up, Robert. You got a different name. I knew who you were, and she's like, this is who he was. I'm like, his name's Robert. But you cleared everything up. It's the initials. It's your father's name, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense now.
And hey, Tim and Crypt Keeper and Lewis, I didn't see you. And Tickets to Space, but he asked a question. Where is a good place to find fish and plants in Central Florida?
So plants, I just talked about Chance. He's in Southern Florida, but shipping isn't that much. For quality plants, you definitely want to check him out. I don't know very many pet stores in Central Florida
that don't have blackbeard algae or other pests.
There's some really nice Aquascape. I'm not sure, but for fish wise and stuff like that, I don't pay attention to anything fish related. I'm sorry. It's something we're going to dabble into. Shelby wants to get a bunch of nano fish. We were looking at a bunch of fish at the pet store in Tennessee. Sadly, they were just on display. They didn't have enough for sale. And they're like, we can order you some. And we're like, sadly, we live.
The only one we know about is Tampa, like Marine Depot, I think.
Yeah, that's like the only decent pet store that we recommend to anybody. However, Jerry Job at the Aquarium Depot for fish is great. Central Florida, Ryan Kinley. Check out Wild Fish Tanks. He's got some great fish, and he's in Orlando.
I keep thinking he lives here because we see him so often.
And I'll be hooking up with Ray to get some fish. Hopefully we get something going and figure something out before the next expo, because there was hardly any fish. And Ed said that nobody that brought freshwater fish to the show came home with fish. And I think that's possible because Aquamarine bought all the betas. So they sold all of their betas at the beta booth. And I thought that was really cool. It's really nice to be able to go to those shows and then vendors and local fish stores come and check out your product and then pick it out. Especially at the end of the day, if somebody wholesale wants to come by and grab the rest of the booth, somebody did that for us at Aquashella. Not the whole booth, but quite a few bags. And it was really nice not to have to worry about those on the way home.
Razor Reef said, thank you for coming to Aquaticon. It was great talking to you about boa shrimp. Hopefully next year you can bring more Carradina.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I recognize you and remember you because you're the only person to ask me about boa shrimp. So it's kind of cool. I'm sorry I didn't have really enough time to go into detail and give you, the attention that I wish I could have. But if you want to talk anything about boa shrimp, ask anything specifically tonight, I'd be more than happy to help you out here, man. It was quite chaotic at the show. We weren't really expecting that many people. And then we did the Aquascape contest too, and that kind of took away from some of our time. But Scuba Steve came through, and if you guys haven't checked out Scuba Steve Aquatics, his channel is and his Instagram as well. Go on over there. He helped watch the booth for us while we had to do the Aquascape contest. Very last minute, though. But thank you, Stephen. You came in clutch. And then can you, Lewis, did you say hi to Lewis?
Yeah.
All right. So, Lewis, I apologize for not getting to you sooner. However, you requested a female snowball. I made sure I threw a saddled one in there. I uploaded the picture of the saddle. If you want to bring that up while I go grab a glass of water. And then I saw Crypt Keeper. How you doing, Crypt Keeper? I don't know if you heard it.
Probably did. Hey, Crypt Keeper. I thought I said hi. I guess I didn't. I'll pull up that picture. Maybe. I don't know.
You like the water too?
Yes. All right. Got it. One of these days I'll get this right.
All right.
It works. Sometimes it works. It's not working.
And then, so yeah, anyways, I just got a really up close picture of the snowball. It was crawling around in the net and walking around upright. Not a lot of the shrimp do that. Usually when they're in the net out of the water, they just kind of lay on their sides until you put them back in the water or pick them up. But some of them have enough strength to just really grip onto the net and start walking. Some of them can climb right out of the tanks. And, every now and then you end up finding a little crispy one behind the tanks or on the floor or something like that. And then Shelby gets isopod food. So those are always nice, sweet little treats for them. But it's always sad. All right. So.
And hi. I will never be able to pronounce that right.
Mr. Nugent, that's what we're going to call him. I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
I don't want to butcher it.
I know. One of these days I'll get it right. Hopefully we can meet in person and you can tell us how to pronounce that right. I don't want to butcher it.
Treated no planaria and now chasing ammonia. Yeah, sadly, when you, I'm not sure how you treated for no planaria. I would like to know. This is something I love talking about because it's something we've dealt with in the past. Shelby loves her plants, so every time at the auctions, there's always something on her list, and she does behave and sets her price right. She knows not to overbid on something, so I always let her get it if it's a good deal. And sometimes we just forget and we throw them in, and we didn't. There's no ice. I'm sorry, the kids took it all. All right, so sorry, but it happened to us a lot in the beginning, and we learned our lesson quite a few years ago where we treat all of our plants now with no planaria, or even better, we like to get tissue culture cups. We got a couple tissue culture cups from the Aquamarine store. And is it an Aquamarine or Aquatic Marine? I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names.
Yeah,
so. But the no planaria, dosing the plants beforehand is, of course, the best way to do it. But if you have to treat the tank, I strongly recommend using no planaria over like dog dewormer. There is a couple other products on the market I haven't really tried. The SL Aqua or the Predator, I can't remember what they are called or something like that. But if you're going to use the dog dewormer, I highly, strongly recommend not using it because it does do quite a lot more damage to the beneficial bacteria in your filter than the no planaria does. So the scarlet bandits will eat baby shrimp. However, not really the adults, but when the adults will molt, it is definitely a possibility. Can you put up the thing? I'm sorry.
What thing?
Then scroll down. Yeah. Oh, I see why. All right. I'm sorry. When the shrimp molt, they become really soft. So the shrimp can pick at them and eat them and rip them in half and nibble on them. It really depends how much you feed, how many hiding spots. It's better to start a colony of shrimp in the tank first, get that colony breeding, and once there's a nice established colony, then throw the fish in. But I wouldn't do it with boa shrimp or anything expensive. Maybe some Carradina.
So I'm not supposed to put the betta fish in your boa tank?
Mm-mm.
Oh, too late.
No.
Said, hi, y'all. Hello, Leo Aquatics. So how do the grades of Carradina shrimp? Oh, that's a multi-layer question.
Yeah, so there's several different ways to grade. You can grade for pattern, you can grade for color, you can grade for full coverage and different things like that, especially with fancy tigers. Some people will grade, Tibes a certain way, but unless they're full coverage, I don't consider them a fancy tiger. And then, you want to work on color first or pattern. So it's really, if you can get both of those things, that is the highest grade. So that is like a really deep question. If you want to ask more specific on it, I can get more onto like specific shrimp or something like that. But then from there on, it really breaks down into what kind of shrimp we're talking about and how we're going to go by grading it.
Jamie asked, I am starting to get red willy with blacktails. Would they be considered red devil?
No, not red devil. Red devils are the orange eye, red King Kongs. So I like to call it the dragon's blood. It's not just what I like to call it, but there's several different breeders, and it's a trait that goes way back. When the red gets so deep, it kind of gets the blackness to it. But that's somewhat, some people call it dragon's blood, but that's just for the Taiwan bees. On Carradina, it's called like Kanoki or something like that. I'm horrible with name pronunciation, but maybe you have some Kanoki really, and I think I even have some reallys, and I don't think the blacks to them, or some reallys pop out of my Kanoki, but I don't think there's blacks on the tips. So that could be something you could branch out and maybe even get black on the tip. It's a really cool feature if you can get the red and black on both traits, especially even with Neos. It's still not a lot of people sort it out, but it's one of the rarest shrimp that there are people who will pay more money for them. What were you doing?
Adding them.
Oh.
And Tim asked, my blue boas are producing blue steels. Would you cull all of them?
So it depends on the population of your boas. If you're low on females, maybe you could keep some blue steel females, because if they're crossed with a boa, they could still produce boa babies, and those boa babies would tend to have more blue hue to them. So if your goal was to make more of the metallic blue, then keeping some female blue steels in the colony is not a bad idea. However, if your goal is blue boas with no blue steel culls in the end game, then yeah, you're going to want to remove those. But either way, you're going to want to take out the blue steel males for sure.
And Crypt Keeper said he used the direction on the pack. Last night was the second dose, dosing at lights out.
Did you do a water change the next morning? So I know the packs and everything like that, the instructions are how the companies do it, but I've learned doing it a certain way, and we've done a video on this. It's posted on the channel on how to kill no planaria in a shrimp tank. What we do is we do a full dose on the first night, and then the very next day we do a 90% water change, and we take it all out. And we've only ever had to do a double dose one time. And if you see planaria in there, check at night. They're more active. It seems like they're more nocturnal, and they'll come out at night. You can see them crawling around, and maybe if you have to do a double dose, what I do is just a complete 100% dose again, and then 90% water change the next day. It's very important that you get the poison out of the water, or else it's going to kill the bacteria in your tank. I hope it's not too late and we can help you out. If anything, do a 90% water change. If you have to leave the stream, it's all right.
Lewis, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Lewis.
They're doing great. It was worth the wait for the saddled female. I have over 20 snowballs from you guys. I love them so much. The best part is I'm really close to you.
And I threw you a couple little extra babies, so hopefully those will be a good chance for you to get some more females too. They kind of stuck to the finger, and I don't worry about taking them out of the cups, especially when they're going to friends.
You're actually so close that when he came back inside, I was scared because I didn't think it was him coming back so fast. I was like, no, what are you doing?
I'm sorry for rushing. I had to get home, get the kids to bed, make sure they're in bed. I know your little sister wanted to see them, but yeah, they were already supposed to be in bed. I just had to tuck Layla in and then get ready. And as you can see, I got my official Tennessee Fish Mafia hat. If you didn't get it from Ed, it's not legit. And then Shelby is rocking the Tennessee Fish Mafia t-shirt. And it was funny because he came to the booth and I was trying to give him some shrimp. I'm such a big fan of his channel. I was like, dude, just take them. I know what you're going through. And dude, trust me, when I was down and out with my ankle, I watched many of his channels, as well as several other people who were there. And it was really cool. Like, we got to meet Lefty in person. His car's all decked out with Pokemon. And I saw it and I was like, this has got to be Lefty's car. And we went, checked in, came back out for our bags, and Lefty was getting something out of his car. I was like, Lefty, I knew it was your car, man. So he was probably like, who is this guy? He didn't watch our channel, but I had plenty of time on my hands, and I knew he was part of the Fish fam. So I did dabble with quite a few different channels all around, and we got to meet Susan in person, and she's a very sweet old lady. And
she ain't old.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I'll punch him later.
But yeah, no, she's so sweet though, and it was nice to meet everybody, and especially see Ed and James again. Those are great guys. It was great hanging out with them at the hotel.
They light up a room, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At every Aquashella, they're like the party walking in, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, they're a good vibe. And Ed, of course, told the funniest joke of the week, and it's not appropriate for the channel, but it's not that bad. It is a great joke, though.
So Crypt Keeper said, do I continue with final dose pack recommendations or just leave it?
I think you
already went over
after the 90% water change, check for the planaria. If you don't see any, I wouldn't dose.
All right. Razor Reef. Did you visit any of the local Tennessee fish stores? How do they compare to Florida stores?
Okay, so just before we answer that, I want to dabble back onto Crypt Keeper. I'm not sure what kind of filter you have, but the filter is a great place to check, or anything. If you have any flat rocks or anything like that, lift them up, check underneath that for the planaria. That's the best place to look for them. So yes, Razor Reef. We went to Aquatic Marine. And like I talked about a little bit before, the pet stores in Florida just do not compare. That store was so much better. Oh, Shelby's playing with the rocks. I'm sorry, guys. But, yeah, she picked up a bunch of things, and I grabbed a couple of tissue cultures. Like, I'm not sure if any of them have tissue cultures now, but, like, Father Fish was the only one besides Marine Depot that had tissue cultures, and he shut down his store, sadly. But, more time for great Father Fish videos, but we just don't have anything really that nice anywhere close to us. A lot of nice stores in Colorado and stuff like that, but we are Aquascape fanatics, hoarders, if you might want to put us there. We do have quite a lot of rocks, so it's embarrassing
Definitely
to admit.
A quarter of a
but just with rocks and maybe shrimp. We do hold back on a lot of shrimp, but
oh yeah.
This was $3 a pound, so it's quite a steal.
That's nothing.
She got all the rocks she wanted and the tissue cultures and some food for the axolotls, and that was a lot of fun because they're stupid. They're so funny though. They're just idiots. Like, you drop the food right in front of them and they don't go for it. So you got to drop it right on their mouth, and then they're like shrimp. They try to snatch it right out of the air, but. I'm talking about the dog, by the way. That's very confusing. We should regrets. But the axolotls would just get hit by the food and just lay there like they didn't have any clue. But and then it's hard to tell between the food and poop, and because we were gone for 3 days and we got excited and wanted to feed it right away. So I don't know if they ate it off the food yet. Not 100% positive, but we'll find out tomorrow.
And that's Obsidian Rock, by the way. There is no pet stores here that actually sell any aquascaping rocks. So I would say they were definitely better than our fish stores. They even have a little box in the back. You can do your own scaping in the store. It's crazy. And
there are 2 like really new fish stores that just opened. So I'm not knocking on those ones. We haven't been there. There's one in Jacksonville that's super really nice.
That's so far away, though.
But it's still Florida, so I can't knock on those.
I mean, there's good ones, just not in our area.
Yeah, we're in Central Florida, and we've not really been we haven't been to Bad Fish either, and Bad Fish is in Florida.
Oh,
so
yeah, I would enjoy that.
Be a nice store, and then Aquascaping.
There's definitely some good ones in Florida, but
I don't remember what Kevin's store is. But they were at Aquashella with the UNS tanks. I can't remember where he's out of. I feel so bad. I'm horrible with names and location. Moving on.
Hey, Mason.
And then another thing I thought I'd mention real quick is we have been killing it on Instagram. We hit our 2,000 goal, so we'll be doing a giveaway tomorrow. So if you're not following us on Instagram, it's at the Garden of Eater. I will be doing some type of giveaway for $100 gift card to the website. So we've just been so busy, and I think we just hit it 1 or 2 days ago. So we were traveling when we got it or at Aquaticon. So I'm going to get to that tomorrow. Since we weren't here Saturday, we weren't able to ship out any packages. So any orders placed after Wednesday at 5 o'clock didn't go out until today. So we're kind of backed up. And then we made a little money, and we went shopping for quite a few things that we needed around the house. So I don't like to have cash on hand, so we spent some cash at Home Depot.
It's asking, did you answer that? Do I continue final dose pack or leave it? I think we answered that.
Yeah, we answered
Okay.
that. But
Making
yeah,
sure I didn't
back
skip
to
anything,
Home
sorry.
Depot. I got Shelby to agree to the double rack, so 72 10-gallon tanks for the living room, and yeah, so you can expect us to start building that in like not in the next 2 weeks or so, but by the end of the month we are going to start that project. So I don't even know if I want to put a bunch of tanks there, but
Right.
I want to scape some stuff.
Sandy asks, Grant, what are the shrimp called with a black head and tail? Then they have a light blue in the center. Are they from Blue Dream Shrimp? Thanks, Sandy. Carbon Realies?
So they would be carbon Realies if they're black and blue. And then more than likely they should be from Blue Diamonds. The Blue Diamonds will throw solid blacks as well as carbon Realies that come from chocolate or black rose. So Blue Dreams should not be throwing any black pigment, but there's like very rarely any pure Blue Dream lines out there. So it's a chance you could get some blacks from your Blue Dreams.
So this is a Leo from Aquatics again for the Shadow Missouri, the grading. How would you grade them?
So for the Shadow Missouri, you just want black on the head and then as solid blue as you can get. And then I'm not positive offhand if you can get the spider legs on Missouri. I can't remember. Maybe not real spider legs, but maybe you can get.
You want color in the
I think
legs,
they're solid black.
Black.
Yeah, for the legs. And then as solid blue as you can get for high grade. Any white is going to be lower grades. But you could also go on the other end and go for Black King Kong Missouri and just do solid black and white. And that's also on the other end of high grade as well. So,
all right. Tangerine Tiger. What is a good mix for that?
Tangerine Tigers were a great surprise for us. We sold out of those in like the VIP hour, and we weren't expecting that this weekend. But they are a fun mix. If you want to make greens, you can mix them with Aurora Blue Tigers. If you want to make blue steels, you can mix them with blue dreams. If you want to make boas or galaxy pintos or nanashi or other kinds of pintos and other fun things, you could cross them with any Taiwan bees. But remember, that's going to take you several generations. The other things that I mentioned are capable in like 1 or 2. So, and also we went shopping for a couch. So hopefully we get a couch here soon. No winners yet.
How to grow Java moss fast.
So we have a video on how to grow aquatic moss, and it is just simply water changes. It loves clean water. If you go out into the wild and take a look at the mosses and where they're growing, they're in creeks, they're in really fast flowing rivers and stuff like that, where there's a lot of healthy, clean water flowing through them. They're getting fine nutrients out of the water, but they don't need a ton of nutrients. So really what we feed the shrimp is all the nutrients that the shrimp are getting, or the moss is getting, and the Carradina ponds, especially. In the Carradina ponds with the aqua soil, they might get a little bit of nutrients from...
You said ponds. We don't have ponds in our house.
I'm sorry, but we have the Carradina ponds outside with the soil, so they might get a little nutrients out of the substrate. But for the most part, it's just the clean water from the water change, and it'll grow super fast. The light does not matter. Low light, LED, full spectrum, cheap. That's what we go for.
So purple shrimp, how much do they go for?
So it depends on the kind. If we're talking Carradina, and you can find somebody $10 to $20. If you can get the purple metallic reds, I think Plamsky was selling those for like $50 a piece. But you can find 45. You can find some that are worth a lot more, that are a little higher grade, deeper metallic. The purple metallics, I think we got 3 really nice ones for $250. But that breeder no longer carries them. He got rid of all of his. So it's really hard to find nice purples. I'm not quite sure who has them.
All right.
You can make your own if you use Tangerine Tigers and Taiwan bees.
Mayo asked, are orange-eyed red-blue tigers or any other tiger just as hardy as tangerine tigers?
The tangerine tiger really is the king. How did you... Who let you in here? They really are the king of the show. You're gonna get white hair all over me. You're gonna come up now. But they really are the most hardy shrimp. I tell people if you kill your tangerine tigers, chances are there's something really toxic in your water, and you were probably not having success with the Carradina. If you were, they were just barely breathing. So super tigers are very close behind. I'm sorry, buddy. You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm so sorry. But the tangerine tigers are king. Super tigers are right behind them. Raccoon tigers are just right behind super tigers. But I would put them in that order. Orange eye blue tigers, the royal blue tigers, red tigers. Those are all very, very similar. But yeah, the other ones, the Serrata, are way hardier. And the royal blue tigers are Serrata too, and those aren't nearly as hardy as the tangerine ones.
I don't currently have 18 gallons of water aged. Will 90% change hurt this further?
Are you aging the water with RO water, or are you aging the water with tap water? If you have tap water and you're using prime, I don't even age it. I just send it. So I'm not sure what kind of shrimp you're. What was it? Mixed Carradina tank. So
yeah,
I don't age my RO water. If you have some, well, I do age the RO water, but in an emergency with the liquid for minerals. So if you could get any RO water at all and liquid minerals, I would do that. Even doing it with salts, I think would be better than waiting the next day. If you're having issues, she's having deaths, or no, just ammonia problems, right? The cycle's probably already gone, but you want to get the water out of there as fast as possible because that's when your cycle is going to start fixing itself.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I just realized I forgot to feed certain fish. Don't let me forget to feed them after this.
All right.
I forget that they're in there because they hide so well. All right. ADA soil, the new one. How long before you put shrimp in?
I always wait 30 days before we use any shrimp in our tanks, even if we're recycling tanks, mainly because you're growing biofilm on every surface of the tank. Every nook and cranny will grow that little clear white film. Even if you can't see it, it's there, and the shrimp are picking at it. They're eating it. That should be 60% of their diet. You shouldn't have to feed that much. And as long as there's a good layer of biofilm, you shouldn't have any real issues with your shrimp. So I would wait at least 30 days. But with ADA, it is known to leach ammonia. So you are going to want to test and make sure there isn't any issues with that.
All right. So this is a couple questions he's saying. Top surface is starting to retain bubbles from filter a little bit. Or should I just toss a satchel of carbon in while I get bubblers in the fresh water overnight? Have I hang on the back running so carbon is easy to add?
Yeah, carbon is great. Carbon will take the poison out for sure, especially if you have aquachar. That is key. Not key, but a little bonus for it. But yeah, no, carbon will be great. Just remember you got to take it out after a day, and then as soon as you do the water change, take it out.
And hello, Lady Diane.
How's it going?
And random guy on YouTube. I don't like that one. Have you heard of Bobitis nano? It's a rare Vietnam water weed that grows purple and highlight. I'm lucky enough to have some arriving in the mail tomorrow. It sounds really cool.
I have heard of Bobitis mini, the mini Bobitis, but I have never heard of nano, and I didn't know that it turned purple. And yeah, if you get it, and it turns out to be legit, let us know maybe where you got it from in the comments, and if you want to share. But yeah, that would be a really cool addition to some of our aquascapes. But that is really cool. Thank you for the tip, random guy on YouTube.
All right. And How many shrimp do you have in 5 gallons in your shrimp tank?
So we don't have any 5-gallon tanks. Our smallest tank is 7.5 gallons, and there's probably 300 green emeralds in there, and then probably 400
Purple moss.
purple moss.
It's also known as Bulbitis nano.
Oh,
But it's a moss.
it doesn't look like a moss, but yeah, it's cool looking. And then 400 aquatic isopods or so. So you can definitely house a lot of shrimp. Maybe like 300 adults, but they're definitely gonna start cutting down on one another after that. They'll start eating one another even at nighttime. You won't even see it. There's so many shrimp in the tank, they'll devour it before you've even found it. But we normally recommend 1 to 2 shrimp per gallon when starting out, and then letting them breed out from there. At least you can do 4 or 5 shrimp per gallon, but anything after that, you're not really going to have enough room to play with and get them breeding. They breed so fast, 30 babies every 30 days.
Yeah.
If you're doing everything right, per female at least.
Itch yourself. Said, yeah, reef stores down here are awesome. Freshwater has a long way to go. That is the truth. Now he was saying that bad fish. Now I bought my alien beta from them, and they are both doing incredibly well. A lot of times when I get beta fish, they get ick and fin problems right away. So it's really nice to see that.
I just gave him a blue star. Can he moderate or do things now?
I have no idea.
We need to figure this out, because it would be cool if somebody asked about fish for Central Florida. If Mason could put in the comments your link after the site. Mm-hmm. Mason has a bunch of great fish, and he's in Central Florida on the West Coast, though. So he's got a lot of fish that I am quite jealous over. But I will be seeing Mason's house in person when Jason comes to town in the next 2 weeks. So I will be coming home with fish for sure. I have money set aside, so I hope there's some available when I show up, Mason. The ponds still some empty ones.
Jamie asks, my black rose colony are starting to throw lots of brown chocolate. Is that a normal line from the black rose?
So actually, black rose comes from chocolate. It's just a higher grade. The brown pigment was bred so much that eventually the pigments grew together, they deepened up, and so much brown overlaying that it turned black. A lot of times you can get the onyx too. If you get a brown one that is like so dark that it kind of glazes over to where it's brown, black, and red all in the same shrimp. Those are really good money still.
There's a new one at Aquashella out of Orlando that seemed pretty cool. Didn't get the chance to go there. I wonder which one that was. The only one I know from
is
Orlando
Worldwide Corals. No, the pet stores. I just know Worldwide Corals, and they're new. Yeah. I just haven't been there.
They're new? Worldwide Corals?
They had an online website. No. They had a store, but they opened up a brand new store.
Oh, okay. So Leo Aquatics asked, Red King Kong or Blue Bolt? The grading again.
Why are we deciding? Why not have both? You can throw them both in the tank together, and they can crossbreed, and they won't mute up the genes. You will just get more red or black King Kongs, as well as blue bolts. You'll get Misuras, shadow pandas, and your mix of black and red King Kongs.
Maybe it's because the clubs. Oh, were you done talking?
I remembered something else maybe to say. Okay. It also depends on the cross. What are you trying to make? Are we making red steels? Are we making blue steels? It depends. Also, what your main goal is. But if it's a personal question, I prefer blue bolts.
Over red King Kong?
Yeah, weird. Blue bolts are very nice.
No, disagree. Maybe it's because the clubs around here are so strong, it isn't a lot of room for retail. Yeah, but it's the problem with the clubs is it only once a month. So, and a lot of people can't get those Saturdays off, hence why we miss some, because I can't get every Saturday off. So realistically, it's just the retail stores that we do have do not put their attention and love for their animals at all. A lot of our stores, you walk into multiple tanks of blackbeard algae. I can understand a few tanks maybe, but when an entire row is filled with blackbeard algae, and then almost every fish that I've ever bought from that store comes home and kills my other fish because it's got a bacteria that I couldn't see. Always quarantine, obviously. We made mistakes, and I haven't bought from stores in a long time, but those people should be quarantining their fish as well before they put them out for sale. But they constantly had issues, and we had no good success. And they don't help you when you come in. They barely even say hello when you walk in through the door. It's just
That's
a lot
what I
to
was gonna
do.
say,
Like,
was customer service. When me and Shelby first started dating, I used to take like half my paycheck and we would blow it at our local fish stores. And every time we walked in there, it was like, oh, these people again. Like, I've got to catch a lot of things. And it's like, I thought you'd want to catch a lot of things. And then even the owner wasn't really thrilled that we were there. And it's like,
no,
you're getting half my paycheck a week, man. Like,
right.
and
buy
they just
their
didn't want to send
whole
us the time of day. And I'm not saying
tank full.
all fish stores, like the Bob's
Once a
Feathered
year.
Friends, who's no longer in business, and the other two really close ones to me, but not traveling, out of county. The when we go to Marine Warehouse and or Marine Depot, usually there's 5 or 6 people in there who want to help you. So
Yeah.
those
I
aren't
don't
that
remember
bad.
which one. There was one we went to.
Aquascapes, not Aquascape.
No. There was another one that was in Florida that we went to.
Aquascapes.
No, it was
Okay.
not called Aquascapes.
That's nice.
They would have rags in their pocket and they would take it out and wipe the tanks down constantly and be walking around and help you out. You could tell they cared and people were actually doing their job. Some of these other stores, they're just not doing what needs to be done. So people walk in and then they get a pet that's sick and then they go home and kill it and they're like, oh, well, I can't keep this alive. And it's happening in the hobby all over the place. And that's why retail is going to die for the fish hobby if they don't change it and make sure it's hobbyists making the retails and they're doing it because it's just sick fish. And same thing with sick shrimp. So many people are like, I can't keep them alive. I can't keep them. It's like you're getting them from a source they're so stressed out. They shouldn't have been sent to you, like it's just really putting people down in the fish hobby and it's not going to help. Lewis asked, while driving to events or anywhere with tons of livestock, Neo, Carradina plants, etc., have you ever been pulled over?
Yep. I was doing 95 in Missouri.
95 is saying it easy. I mean, when you slammed on the brakes.
I was doing 95 in Missouri. Layla.
Don't speed in Missouri, by the way. Don't do it.
Layla woke up, was talking to me, and I stopped looking for cops and was just paying attention to the road and talking to her, just cruising. And next thing you know, I was getting pulled over. Shelby's waking up, like, what's going on? And I didn't know how fast I was going. The cop pulled me over, and next thing you know, the cop's asking me to go into his car. And I'm going, oh my God, I'm getting arrested for going way over the speed limit. But it was like a 75-mile-an-hour road, and there was nobody on the road. Like, it was like wide open. We were on our way to do a talk in Colorado, but the cop didn't search the car or anything like that. So it would be real. There's this guy, botany or crime pays, botany doesn't, and I try to watch his videos because he does a lot of the scientific and technical terms of the plants and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get better for videos and stuff like that, and then auctions as well. Every now and then I help out as the auctioneer at our clubs, and I'd like to be able to pronounce some of the fish names a little bit better. So always trying to work and practice, but he always talks about, they're finding all these seeds and stuff like that. So I think it would be funny for them checking all of our little baggies of plants.
Leo asked, when are you guys getting any shadow Misuras?
I think there's babies in the tank, but the colony's not very big, and I don't breed very many of them. So I probably won't be letting go of any this year. And we don't buy and resell anything. So like I said before, we're kind of hoarding Aquascape materials and shrimp. Shadow Misuras are one of my favorite shrimp, and I kind of hoard them. I'm sorry.
So from an S-grade blue ball, would they have darker blue or would they never have a darker color?
S-grade, All right, blue bolts are funny because they are the moodiest shrimp. They will flip flop. I will not even try to sell any of my blue bolts not sexed, graded, because they can look full blue and then get really stressed out in shipping and lose all of their color. And then you think that I switched the shrimp out. So I sell just shrimp from my colony, and I show pictures of the colony and tell you to expect a mix because they are so moody they will change. I've culled all the white ones to a tank, and then 1 week that other tank is all white, and the tank that I culled is all blue again. So I just try and focus on getting rid of the ones where they don't really show too much color all the way through. If there's any breaks in the pigment at all, I cull those. And besides that, just depends on the day of the week for the shrimp and how blue it's got. So
Any color of bees?
any color of bees?
I don't know. I'm lost with this one.
I prefer shadow pandas, which would be blue and black bees. But yeah, you gotta be having more specific
I
questions.
think it might have went with something else. How many shrimp do you have in your 5-gallon? I don't know. She said, thanks. I was so disappointed. They were supposed to be the best line bred blue dreams in the world. What a joke. Worst shrimp I've ever seen. Oh, well, I will never buy from them again. I personally love carbon relis. If I could have a whole tank of them, that'd be pretty cool.
The problem with Blue Dreams is, though, a lot of the lines are tainted. Like, it's very hard to get your hands on Blue Dreams. We do our best, but every now and then, some of the blues will look so blue it's almost black, and it's hard to tell. But with the Blue Dreams, is what happened is a lot of the Blue Diamonds were coming out stronger, and some of the names are switched. Oh man, that was weird. Switched around and turned so that way they can make a sale. And what happens is they were mixed up. So a lot of the Blue Dreams were mixed with Blue Diamonds or other named Blue Dreams that came from different ways of making them. And a lot of the genes are mudded up. Blue Velvets are like one of the hardest ones to find. Almost all the Blue Velvets that I've seen, you see patches of dark blue, and it shouldn't be like that. And those are more than likely Blue Dream culls.
So Crypt Keeper back with the planaria. Bottled distilled water, zero TDS from the bottle, remineralizing with salty GH plus to 5 GH, which sits me at 100 to 110 TDS. Planted tank typically sits 140 TDS with fertilizers. Rose to 160 with the meds and ammonia.
Maybe add in a little bit more minerals than you would, mix them up and do a water change, and you want to get that down.
Are you guys feeding your tanks when they are empty and cycling them?
No. We might dose a little bit of fertilizer to feed some ammonia into the tank, but besides that, we don't do anything feeding-wise.
Lewis thought we used Aquachar for starting the cycle. No, that's an emergency situation.
Yeah. But eventually, Brian is working on Aquachar that is infused with bacteria. So that might be something to try out in the future.
Hey, Good Life Aquatics.
How's it going?
Thanks for joining us. Mayo said, thanks for the stream. It's been very informative.
Well, thank you guys for the questions. Without you guys asking away, we won't learn these things. And a lot of these questions, like this one, are questions that I just don't have time to do a video. Like, we haven't done a video in a long time, just simply because we've been busy. Like today, I wanted to get over to Lewis to drop off his shrimp, but I haven't seen the kids for 3 days. So as soon as they got home, it was get your homework done so we can go outside, play some basketball. Ran, got some food for dinner, came home, ate, waited a minute, went, played some basketball. And then I was like, are you home? I got to get going. I forgot at the stream tonight. We got to get running. So, but this question is great. And will Carradina eat fish eggs or fry? So it's a 2-part question here. No, they will not eat your fry. However, they will eat your fish eggs. So we found that out. Shelby had some blue rams, German blue rams, right? Is that what we bred? German
I've
blue.
read a lot of things. But I think it was the Coracat eggs.
No, the German blue rams. They laid them in the center driftwood piece in the 20-gallon tank down there below.
Yeah, those are German blue rams.
The shrimp I thought were cleaning the eggs, and I was like, "This is awesome! I'm gonna wake up in the morning. The eggs are gonna be looking great." And almost all the eggs were gone. And I was like, "Oh no!" And then I messaged one of our club members, and they're like, "Yeah, the shrimp will eat the eggs." And I was like, "Oh Jesus!" So we got the shrimp out of there, and they will eat the molding eggs first. But if they're hungry enough, they'll eat fresh eggs too.
Oops.
And snails can eat the eggs too.
So Mason said he's heading to England tomorrow night. We'll visit some fish stores when I'm there. You'll have to take pictures. I request. You got to do a whole talk. We never hear you talk, Mason. You should do a whole talk about your trip to England and the pet stores there.
And enjoy the trip, man. Don't be stressed out. If we can't make it over and slide through to see your place with Jason, no worries, man. If it's something we can make happen, that's great. If not, we got several people who said, "Hey, come on by and check out their places as well." Just your house was like favorite on my list, and I'm sure he wants to check that out too. So, but no stress, man. If you can't make it, enjoy your trip and have a safe flight and safe trip home, man.
And then they said the one selling all the UNS tanks was out of Orlando at Aquascape.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's Kevin's place. It's Aqua Supply, I think, or something like that. I'm horrible with names.
I don't know what Kevin. What's their last name?
I'm horrible with names.
I'd rather have a strong club control versus a crappy retail local fish store. Treasure Cove Pet Shop is a good example.
But why can't we have both?
No. We could definitely do it. It's just no one puts their passion into it. Like if we opened up a pet store, if we weren't running it the way we want to run it and the way we would want to see a pet store and you walk in, then that means that we have no passion left in it. What? Why are you moving it?
I'm tired of leaning forward.
But I
trying to lean back.
Back.
But the Colorado had great clubs. The Colorado Aquarium Society and the Rocky Mountain Cichlid Association were two really good clubs. And I mean, I did a shrimp talk. You can't yawn.
I'm sorry.
I did a shrimp talk at a Colorado cichlid club, and it went great. Like my yellow King Kongs were going for a higher price than they were on our website. And when they sold on auction, I was like, I got them on the website, and with shipping, they're the same price. So I know we went home and had a few sales from those, and their pet stores were great. Like
incredible.
I'm not like a big name by any means. I'm not Jason or John or anyone like that walking around. And I go to Florida pet stores like that, and like I said, we're not even treated as like common folk with people that they want to see in their store spending money. We went to Colorado, and several people recognized us and were like, "You got any shrimp for us?" and stuff like that. Very friendly, very nice stores. Aqua Dog was a great store. It had puppies for Shelby and the kids, and then some really nice Aquascape tanks up front, and then a nice display of Aquascape supplies, plants, and a good selection of fish. So, and there's a couple other stores. Like it was really cool to see the stingrays and arowana and stuff like that. I hadn't seen those in person until that point. So, next one.
Mason said, I need to take a trip to a new store in Sarasota, Living Artwork Fish Farms. They're a fish farm that opened a retail location. Prices are cheaper because they raise a lot that they sell. That's cool.
I think that's the other one. I knew there was one in Jacksonville, and I couldn't remember where the other one was, but yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Seascapes. Isn't that Sarasota?
There's a Repticon this weekend. I believe it's in Sarasota. We could kill two birds with one stone, and we got some cash money from the expo. They could have a Cayman lizard. They could have.
Oh, like we have time for all that right now.
I want time for that. I'll make time.
Jamie said, wish we had shrimp clubs in my area. No one interested in Carradina. I kept busy selling Neos though. Just really want to experiment with Carradina.
Yeah, we don't have any shrimp clubs. The greater
Chicago.
Aquarium Society. No.
Chicago Aquarium Society.
Chicago Ornamental Shrimp Society.
We'll get it right eventually.
They have a club, and then there's an Oregon Shrimpers Club too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Zach should be a part of that.
So, but we don't have anything local like that. We have our Pasco Aquarium Club and our Tampa Bay Aquarium Society. They're two very good clubs. A little tiny bit cichlid dominant, pleco dominant for sure. Cories and guppies and stuff like that, but a lot of neos go through. Every now and then some Carradina will pop in, but they don't really sell very well.
I teach at an elementary school and was thinking of setting up a small breeding program next year. Nothing big, just 4 to 5 10-gallon. I read that wrong, sorry. What types would you recommend that are in high demand?
So, definitely blues. Blues were like one of the best selling shrimp at the show. We brought 20 bags of blues, and we should have brought more.
Honestly,
even the blue coals sold.
I disagree. He's at an elementary school. What I think that you should do for a breeding program is buy a little bit of each color, because the kids are going to be really interested in seeing every single color. Then when they breed together, because it's a breeding program, you get to show them that they turn to wilds and they have different types that come out of them, lower grades, and it's a teaching moment for all the kids.
That's not what he asked. He asked what we're in high demand. I think he wants shrimp that are going to breed and be high demand. That maybe something that he can sell for the classroom.
You're right.
That maybe can buy like cooler creators or maybe bigger tanks or something like that. So when you're ready for the tank and you're all set up, message us, pay shipping, and we'll send you some shrimp for the kids and a couple little things. We're working on some foods and stuff like that. I've got some really fun foods that Han used to keep in stock that I want to bring in. And they're definitely like little fun things that I like to do, especially when the kids have birthday parties, is feed this little beet food. And when it kind of sits in the tank for a little bit, it leaches, and red dye basically goes into the water, and it looks like they're bleeding and eating like meat or something. So all the kids are like, what are they eating? Ah! But it's cool. And the shrimp like it.
Said, what color of bee mix with the tangerine tiger shrimp? Don't yell at us.
The shadow bees, the shadow pandas for sure. Mizuras are fine too, or blue bolts, but I would definitely go with the shadow pandas. That's the most fun I've had.
Most fun. You don't think the yellow King Kongs have been interested? Wait, no. Tangerine tiger. I read that wrong. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore what I said. Lewis asks, does anyone know where I can get 2 trios of cyan black blue koi guppies? Oh, those things are cool. I just saw those the other day. My male died. I only have 4 females, 1 male now, not including 50 plus fry.
Might be best to just wait for them fry to grow up, but I don't know. I don't know anywhere to get them guppies. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry. Mix all the shrimp, blue bolt, pinto, galaxy, purell. What will you get?
A bunch of Thai bees and Thai bees. Basically, you're going to ruin the PRL genes, so you'll never be able to get PRLs again. Even crystals after that, because some of them might have galaxy genes that won't show up, and you won't be able to tell the difference between a really low-grade Thai bee or a crystal shrimp. Same with the blue bolts. You're going to get blue steels, so you'll lose those. You'll never be able to say you have pure blue bolts out of that colony again. And then the galaxies are going to very, very be few and far between with your breeding projects, because on the high-end breeding scale, it takes so much work out of the other shrimp to get to that point. So you're just reverting backwards by adding in those other genes.
And Sandy said, thanks for your videos. You guys are my favorite. Thanks, Sandy. We really appreciate that.
Thanks for watching.
And Lefty.
How's it going, Lefty? It was great to see you and meet you in person. I was talking about you earlier. We saw your Pokemon card. I was like, that's got to be Lefty's. And we really enjoy watching your channel and seeing all the Pokemon, especially the kids. They really like the Pokemon too. So when I was all bored and broken. The kids were watching with me at times, so really enjoy watching your guys' stream. So welcome. It's the first time seeing you on our stream. Glad to have you here, man.
And he said, you got to put Florida on the map. Hopefully.
We have big dreams, big
different than
plans.
A retail location, but more of it's
the Garden of Eden, and Shelby wants Jurassic Park gates and like some type of botanical thing where we definitely want to do the Tom Crutchfield method where we build the cages for the animals and not for the keeper's pleasure, but at the same time I want to try to make things look really nice. We want to go slow, but before we can get there, we need to fit as many tanks as we possibly can in this house. And then we'll push ourselves out of the house. We can go somewhere, move there, maybe build a house on a property, and then slowly but surely maybe get a warehouse and then start venturing off into other things and maybe do like appointments or something like that where people can come tour, check out the breeding facility and stuff like that. But I don't know if we'll have a pet store, maybe something in the front of the property. Maybe when Jaden and Layla grow up, maybe they would really want to do something like that. But I think we want to be breeders, not retail people.
It's mainly breeding. We love exotic animals, so and a lot of them, so it's going to be hard, but we need a lot of property and it will take some time, but the more you support us, the faster that will come. And we really do have some big goals. I tell people all the time, we really want something big, and we want something that people are going to visit after we're gone. Like we want our family to take it over and our grandkids to take it over. Our kids are big into reptiles. Both of them seem to want to do a branch of reptiles, which is what I enjoy as well. So there will be a lot of things we're going to branch off into and keep people interested in. That's for sure.
It sounds Hopefully. Like we're going to Repticon this weekend. This is a great stream. I love going to Repticon.
I know, but that's the place, I talk about how cheap I am, but when I see reptiles that I want, I'm like,
And she's been doing a great job with her dart frogs, and there's a strong argument now.
Oh, I want strawberry ones so bad. Well, we have 2 tanks now. We bought these back in Black Friday. We have 2 40-gallon, right? They're the 40-gallon ones. Vivariums, right? Or paludarium?
No, just terrariums.
Terrarium. There we go. Get it right. Actually. But they're sitting empty in our house. I'm just super stoked. Also got to trying to do a bioactive for the leopard geckos soon. So getting some supplies and setting up the tanks a little bit. You're right. We're going to Repticon. There's too much to do.
I would love to do more shows in Florida, though. Like we're going to more Repticons and having booths. And then even Reefapalooza when they go to Orlando. It was so close to this last show. I wanted to make sure that we were fully prepared. It is winter time, not winter, fall. It's like the first day of summer soon or something like that.
Spring? We're in spring.
I was just saying it's going through fall and winter seasons where the shrimp really slow down. It's late. I'm tired. We were driving along yesterday. Sorry. I mess things up every stream.
Lewis
this is why we don't do a lot of videos. They don't get done.
Retake.
You can't do that live. You get to see it.
I love visiting fish farms in Florida because one day I can focus on seagrass, drive a little further, more, book a hotel for the night, then go to Living Artwork, then drive out to Living Artwork to purchase.
Careful, though, because unless you have a resale license, you can't get to seagrass. So you got to get started on a business and get your own thing going, man.
All right. And hello, Thomas, for joining us.
And it seems like Brandon can help you. Mason.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think he's
Brando. Why
you do that all the time?
No, I don't do that. That's the first time I've done that. Ed does that. That's why. Ed calls you Brandon. And
no, he calls him Brando because that's the only name he could remember. And hello, Aqua Balls. That came out loud.
How's it going, man?
Great idea, Shelby. Maybe letting them experiment with crossbreeding.
Oh man! All right. So see, what
I
do
lost.
I know?
I lost.
The Neos, where you said mix them all together so they could get
Yeah,
wilds.
yeah. It's just interesting for the kids. I mean, one color is cool, and if you plan on selling it, obviously you want to do one color. And he was right; blue would be the choice for sure.
And who knows? Oh, fire reds. If you can get fire reds, those sold really quickly. Also,
oh yeah,
we brought 20
Reds are
bags of
always-
reds, and we came home with one, and it was like the ugliest bag of low-grade red cherries. So I don't blame them.
Those fire reds were gone, like they were on fire.
Oh my god!
I had to do it once in a while.
She's getting out of her comfort zone now. She posted a video of her face on TikTok. So
no, I did not.
Yeah, she did.
Stop talking about the TikTok. What's your site? Want to order some shrimp from you guys? It's tgoeshrimp.com. And do you guys have shadow Mazuras right now or blue bolts?
We have neither. Oh, I think we have blue bolts. I'm not sure if they're on the website or not. If
Depends
they're not
on
on the
how much
website,
you
message
want.
me. I definitely have blue bolts that
And
I
the
can put up
grade.
on the website.
Oh.
Like I mentioned before, I don't grade them. You'll get a mix, and they're $15 each. But message me, and I'll give you one of the coupon codes for 10% off for our YouTube channel.
One thing to know about him, if he doesn't have it on the website, always message him. He might go to the tank and go, look, maybe I can get rid of these. Sometimes the ones that aren't on a website are definitely ones we like to hoard and keep for ourselves. So it's always good to ask.
I don't know your exact tag for TikTok, but I put in TGOE Shelby K. she doesn't want me on it, but no, it's going to be Mother's Day. It's going to be my goal to get you like the 2K followers on TikTok before then. So
we're going to do it. I already forgot what I was going to do. What are your go-to shrimp foods and feeding schedule?
So we feed every other day. Our go-to shrimp foods are going to be the Shrimp Envy line, and then I like the secret shrimp food from Eric. I like nettles. I like the snowflake, and we're going to be getting some more bee pollen soon, and the barleys, and your favorite is the Bug Pro for the Neos.
No, I use Bug Pro for all my fish.
Yeah, but it's your favorite.
It does smell really good.
I don't know.
Don't lie. No, don't. People are gonna think I'm weird. No. Oh, they probably do.
Steak seasoning for her.
It
she
really
just
does.
Sprinkles
smell
that
really
stuff
good.
on her
Don't
steak,
tell me
chicken,
he likes
anything.
it
She
too.
gobbles it up.
Stop.
What's your favorite food? What am I forgetting?
Shrimp Envy.
I said that first. I said the Shrimp Envy line.
Oh, that's just proving that I don't listen to him.
She doesn't.
But the complete is my
out the other.
favorite. It's so easy to break up into the tanks, and when you have different quantities in each tank, you have to have one piece this big, one piece this small. So being able to break it up and distribute it, you always want softer. So
and the growth and the food fight, a little of it goes a long ways. So you don't have to use that much of it. It's a great food.
I like this one. Would you rather be forced to become a cichlid breeder or only be able to breed one type of shrimp?
I would be a cichlid breeder. I wanted to breed cichlids as a kid.
That's a good one.
I bred an electric blue Acara in the pool, so I accomplished my cichlid breeding goal. But like as a teenager, I was trying to breed the yellow labs and different kind of African cichlids, but never really had any luck. So it's definitely something I'm going to tackle again in the future. We brought home some parrotfish, the polar blues, and then we've bred other cichlids as well.
I was trying so hard to talk about that the other night with Ed. I was trying to bring up polar blue cichlids. Okay.
Yeah.
Peacock cichlid, right? Okay.
But yeah, one type of shrimp would not work for me. I got to play Pokemon.
Well, it
Got to
depends.
catch
What if
them
it's
all.
one type of shrimp
breed
that could
every
create
kind
many
of
types of
cichlid
shrimp?
fish before I die if I live over 90.
But he definitely likes cichlids, that's for sure. Like, I could breed angelfish if I wanted to. It's just a lot of work compared to shrimp. So, but they're more interesting.
I need more water.
Kind of. It's pH of 6.5 is okay for shrimp. Yes, it is. But borderline for Carradina.
Yeah.
I would say it's
No.
borderline. You want it at 6?
If it's at 6.5, we're changing substrate.
So he said if it's at 6.5, you should change your substrate.
Yeah. 6.4 is like the maximum height I allow it. However, with pH, you want to check your pH in the morning and in the afternoon, because depending on how long you leave your lights on, your pH can rise during the light cycle. So if you're keeping your lights on for over 7 hours and your pH is starting to creep up really bad after that 7-hour mark, maybe you just leave your lights on for 7 and it might be able to keep your pH. It is very late outside. So if you tested your pH recently or during the stream, for sure, you might want to check it tomorrow morning and see where it's at. Because if it only creeps up to 6.5, maybe it's not that bad.
Said worldwide corals of shrimp, entitled gardens of shrimp. Pretty good. Lefty said, I blame YouTube because I swear I was subbed at one point. Sadly, can't hang on. Gotta head to bed. Stupid work in the morning. Was awesome to meet you both as well. Can't wait till the next one.
Yeah, man, it was great to meet you. And I don't blame you. You're probably tired from traveling. And yeah, we had slightly shorter trip than you did. And we were lucky enough to trade on and off during the driving.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
But I was happy to hear when you said you were splitting it up. And that is definitely the safer way to go if you have the time. So hopefully at the next show, we'll have more time to meet. And we will definitely double check and make sure you are a priority on who chooses on where we go to eat.
He said everywhere but Mexican.
I was very sad. We noticed Carrie wasn't there because she was buying fish. And I was like, but where's Lefty? And Ed's like, I feel so bad. I didn't know he didn't like Mexican. So, yeah, he said it just doesn't sit well in his stomach. And I don't blame him. I mean, after eating Chinese food or something like that, the oils, I feel real droggy. It's not really something I probably want to eat too much of before talking with a bunch of YouTubers later on in the
driving the next day.
But yeah, it was great to meet you, man.
It's great meeting you, and have a good night. Hey, Michelle.
Next time you choose where we go to eat, and we still make Ed go get the table for us.
That worked out so nice. And
That was
hello,
awesome.
Nano Aquarium guy.
How's it going, man? Nice to see you. New local Austin. Have we already said hi to him tonight?
Companion. No. Hey, new local Austin.
I saw him in one of the other streams. So how's it going, man? Hopefully
Thank you so much.
We get to see you again when we go to Aquascape Dallas. We are starting to make all of our preparations. I actually should have called Robert today about the shrimp contest. However, just so busy with packages and everything, I didn't get to it. But we will be posting up the new registration for the shrimp contest here very soon. And Shrimp wanted me to remind you guys that we will be opening up registration from 50 tanks to 100. So if you didn't make it into the last one, I also just told Shelby, see, these live streams are great. I always remember to tell you something. I just thought I did.
Trying to kill me
already.
At an early age.
But,
that's what's going on.
Yeah, we will be needing help. So if anybody would like to volunteer, help us out. We will definitely be needing help with counting up votes and tallying up things. We like to go through and double check everything. So if anybody would like to check our math, we would like a local volunteer beforehand. So give us a shout out if you're available. I'm not throwing you under the bus either, new local Austin. Enjoy the show. If you're not involved in the shrimp contest, or if you have shrimp and you can send them in, I would love to see some new local Austin shrimp.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas, so send them big shrimp.
That was a good one. That's how we should advertise. We should send an advertisement out just to Texas.
You're acting like I didn't already have that idea.
When it's 100 degrees outside, will the tank get to 80 or 90 in the tank? No AC. Oh, a tank. It depends on how big the tank is, though.
I think it depends on how well your
Bury
house
the
vents, how shaded your house is.
It says outside.
Oh, all right. I'm so sorry. It depends how shaded it is.
The tank might not be outside.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think the tank is
inside. In 100.
It's gonna be within a few 4 or 5 degrees of the temperature in your house. So maybe some RO bottles with some RO water bottles in the freezer, freeze them, and then you can put those in the tank and let them deep thaw.
Asking, where do we message you guys? On Grant's Facebook page is the best.
Or you could email us at granteater@gmail.com. It is my first and last name @gmail.com.
Crypt Keeper said, Grant and Shelby, I cannot express how appreciative I am of all your help tonight. Thank you so much. If you need any more help, bother Grant. He is on that phone all the time. I love to see him have to answer questions all the time.
I don't mind.
He loves
Thank you for asking the questions. Like I said before, you guys are what makes this stream. So if you guys have any questions, it's really going to help out and get great content. So,
what nanofish wouldn't eat the shrimp? Want to set up my Flex 15 for a breeding tank for the blue bolt.
All right. So if it fits in the fish's mouth, it is food. And you would not believe how many old men at the show had to tell their wives that, or agree. Y'all listen to him when I said that today at the show. So
them all holding their beta cups and like, oh, can I have shrimp? And I'm like,
next time we need to get before the beta. We need to find out where the beta breeder is, and we need to put ourselves next to the exit or entrance. Jesus. So that way they buy the shrimp first, and then they go to the beta breeders, and then the beta breeders can lie to them and tell them that they don't eat shrimp, and then they colossally kill them. And then they come back to us and like, our shrimp are gone. Then they have to set up new tanks.
It's really a hit or miss.
I don't want that to happen.
I really have a heavily planted tank, and let's just say that alien beta fish love those snacks. Loved them. I actually have a video of it. People really don't like that, so I'm not going to post it. But it is funny watching them wiggle up with it.
But the nano fish like rasboras and stuff like that, of course, the smaller the mouth, the better chances. But they will eat babies and stuff like that. So blue bolts, I really wouldn't keep any fish in with my blue bolts. Neo Carradinas, that's another story. I might risk some really nice neos even. However, auto catfish. Autocentric, I can't pronounce Latin names to save the life of me. I'm working on it. I'm watching other videos. I'm trying. But the auto catfish are the only things that I would even try if you have to have fish in there. If it's a must, that's the only thing. Panda loaches are another one. But like it seems as they grow up, they get ugly and brown, but they're super cute when they're little and tiny and black and white. But I think when they're black and brown, they're big enough to start munching on too many babies. So it's a love-hate relationship with the pandas.
The problem with fish is it really does stress out the shrimp. The shrimp don't feel comfortable enough to reproduce most of the time. So you'll either see a huge decrease in breeding or none at all, and still have them in the tank, So it could be a while till they're gone, but most likely they're going to be eaten because they're protein, and that's what fish crave. So not really much. I think the rice fish, they were the only ones that seemed to do okay with the shrimp, but that was about it.
All right. If everybody right now goes and subs to Shelby's TikTok and can get her to 2,000 subscribers. All right.
Oh.
I will make a steak and I will put a little of it and I'll eat it. I'll try it.
I think I'm done.
It's got to be before Mother's Day, though. If it's not before Mother's Day, I'm not doing it. So share her TikTok videos. Go to her channel, TGOE Shelby K. If you want to see me eat some bug bro.
So, Oh my gosh. You know what we could do though is put steak seasoning on a spoon and out of one of the fish containers and then eat it. That would be the best way to do it. So we're not actually eating it. It's pretty close. So
no, I will show you a legit brand new tub of Bug Pro and a spoon onto the steak into my mouth without any edit video cuts, or it smells.
He's been
so
wanting
good.
to eat it.
She
That's
I'm
what he's
making
telling
fun
you.
of her for saying it, but like she was talking about how good it was, and I was using it for like weeks, just thinking to myself, I'm freaking nuts. Why do I want to taste this on some steak? It smells so good. I don't know why. It just must have something in it that my body is lacking or something, but maybe if I was eating that, my ankle wouldn't have broken.
Yeah,
it's full of chitin and all this good stuff from the black soldier larva. So it is ground up bugs that I would be eating. It's not even like.
I mean, if there was an apocalypse to happen, we'd be set with it.
Some garlic pellets on the side or something like that.
Hey, Ricky.
How's it going, Ricky?
Frank asked, how often, hey, Frank, you must have said hi to Frank earlier. How often do you feed Snowflake?
So I feed the Snowflake on rotation with all of our other foods. So we have about, I think, 8 or 9 foods now into our rotation. We added a couple more. The bee pollen is one of them. Snowflake actually wasn't in our rotation at the time when we did our last video, but the barley pellets was. No, I'm not getting the bag. But ridiculous. Yeah, the at least like once every 2.5 weeks, I would say. But I will try to line up my schedule or switch things around so that way we feed Snowflake right before we leave the house. It is the #1 best vacation food. I highly recommend using that food before you leave because you can dose a little bit extra in the tank and it's not going to, pollute and dirty up your water, and it leaves a little extra food for your shrimp to munch on while you're away. And definitely was great. We fed that day before I even bagged up all the shrimp, but we still haven't fed the shrimp yet. And there's still little pieces of snowflakes in some of the tanks, but they're going to get some shrimp envy complete tomorrow morning once I drop Shelby off at work. So they will be well fed tomorrow.
And Crypt Keeper said, just waiting game now for the new water to siphon in. So back in chat. Welcome back.
Awesome. I'm hoping that helps out. It might not help your ammonia right away, but it will help you in the long run because you're going to get that cycle going again. Sadly, I think maybe your cycle has restarted, but hopefully it's back on track, and the shrimp are super hardy. So as long as you don't do any crazy overfeeding or anything like that, you'll be fine. Can Amanos breed in fresh water? Sadly, they can get buried. They can release their larvae. Very, very, very rare occasion has people gotten their Amanos to breed in fresh water where maybe 1 out of like the 300 eggs that they have ended up growing up. But chances are they added like a plant or a hitchhiker or something into their tank or something like that, and they didn't see the Amano and it came up that way. I really don't believe those stories where they breed in fresh. There's no, evidence or anything like that, but proof, not evidence. Jesus.
I'm sorry, be careful what you wish for. 2 people already subscribed.
Oh man. Hey,
eating fish food.
I've done dumber stuff before. It's FDA approved, I'm sure. But the Amanos, anyways, they can get buried up, and the shrimp live in the freshwater rivers. However, when the eggs hatch, the larva stage gets free flowed out into the brackish waters or even salt waters where special plankton and bacteria and little microorganisms live that they munch on and they need to eat, and enough sun and everything like that. And then when they morph into shrimp, they go through a little metamorphosis and they become strong enough to go up into the rivers once again, where they become of age and the whole breeding cycle goes and starts all over again.
And Jeff said, thanks for the stream. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
And we've got turtle permits to take care of, and then we will get a membership worked out. We talked with a couple of the YouTubers at Aquaticon, and they thought it was a great idea for some of our membership ideas. So I really want to put those into play because we are going to be adding quite a few shrimp to the list after Jason leaves. I want him to be able to enjoy as many Carradina and different types of shrimp that he possibly can while he's here. I don't want to put any pressure on him to do a video. He's going to be doing the talk at our club, and that's more than enough. But as host for the club and responsible for getting the speakers, I just want him to have a really good time and really get him maybe interested in shrimp hobby and maybe keeping a couple shrimp tanks himself. If he doesn't already have some, I'm going to feel really bad if he doesn't have any. I've only watched a couple of his streams and not many of his videos. And the videos I did watch were not on shrimp. So maybe he has some. I just need to search shrimp in his channel. I'll find that out.
Hey, Alan. Grant, I just came on, so didn't hear anything you said before. My pH is between 5 and 5.5, and I just ordered some shrimp that are in between 6 and 6.5. Should I do an overnight drip?
No, 30 minutes to an hour is as long as I would drip for, especially Carradina. However, if there was a dead one in the water or something like that on arrival, maybe drip for an hour and a half. But you're going to want to get that dead one out and as much water out as possible and then get that drip going. But I wouldn't do overnight. A lot of times when you drip, you're not getting enough oxygen into the water as you would in the main tank. So I would get them in there within the first hour or two for sure.
And Cryptkeeper asks, can I add to Frank's question to include bamboo and Sulawesi? Do they breed in fresh? No. Well, Sulawesi in a way.
No, the bamboo are very similar to what did you say about Sulawesi?
I mean, you do freshwater with salt.
No, all right. So the bamboo shrimp is a no. Those are the same thing as the Amano shrimp. They need to go out into the brackish water and then come back. And then and it makes sense with the bamboo shrimp because they're like filter feeders. So there's such a strong current, it takes all the babies out, and then they're finally strong enough to climb back into the fresh water again and make their way up to mate. The Sulawesi, though, are 100% fresh water. They're just a hard water shrimp. And where Shelby said you add the salt to the water, it's not wrong, but what you're doing is adding salt to any water. There's salt in all water that you drink, that's in all of your tanks. Basically what it is mineral content. And so that's what it is. It's just higher minerals and a higher pH for the Sulawesi shrimp. And then they're really hard to breed, but if you set everything up the right way, they're a little slower breeders, but they're not that difficult. It's just keeping everything stable. That's the tricky part.
And hey, Paul.
How's it going, Paul? Nice
and
to see
Robert.
you. I think this is my third time saying hello to you today. Seen you in a few streams. It's nice to turn on a bunch of other live streams and watch them as we're boxing up on Mondays. We kind of make our Mondays shrimp packed one way or another, whether it's packing up everything in the morning or the live stream at night. It's nice to have one day of the week dedicated to the shrimp.
Tim said, thanks for streaming, learning so much about genetics. So fun. Grant will talk your ear off about genetics to the point where I am grilled if I'm asked a question about shrimp. I'll go look at a tank and he'll be like, all right, now how did I make them? Or now what are those? And most of the time I get it right. It takes me some time.
I've only done so many shrimp talks.
Yeah.
I've done it.
He loves it though. He'll go to any club and talk to them. So you guys want to hear genetics, he'll sit there and talk your ear off.
But that's when some of the people start falling asleep. So I try not to do it too much. So if you're passionate and you want to know, that's when I want. I try.
I always do.
They don't always hit.
That's what keeps the ones alive. When you did your Fort Myers talk, you love to make jokes about our racks in our house.
I just want to do a talk for the Gold Coast and do the entire talk without Chuck Davis falling asleep. If I can do that, I will be so happy.
Well, I just gotta be bantering you in the audience.
Maybe. It's not like he's fallen asleep in other of my talks. I think maybe he has, but like he falls asleep. It's one of the jokes He's the legend, Chuck Davis. He falls asleep at all the club meetings. Great painter, great artist, great guy.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, Matt?
You didn't say hi to Robert.
We are not worn. Oh, I'm sorry. How's it going, Robert? I thought we did Alan's question, so I read underneath.
No.
He's got another
This is
question.
a different
I'm
question.
so sorry. I'm skipping over everything.
I made sure he didn't forget it.
How's it going, Rob Bloomfield? Nice to see you tonight. And yeah, he's got us motivated to get the resale license. I would love to keep the Shrimp Envy site, Shrimp Envy foods on hand on the site and bring them to the shows as well. A lot of people asking for food, and it would be nice to have a little food section on the corner of the table or something like that. So
yes, I think we do well. Sorry, spacing out. Alan, also my TDS is 150 and the shrimp that I got are at 125. So do you advise just a long overnight drip, one drip every 2 seconds?
I would do a drip per second for an hour.
And then Matt asked, aren't you too worn out, exhausted?
Still got some energy though.
That's when you start getting real loopy, and I'm getting to that point. Still got a lot to catch up on though.
I've definitely said a few things backwards, and I think it's understandable.
It was a long drive, but it was worth every minute. And when we go to these shows and we come back, most of the time it gives us a lot more motivation, because it was like the first time someone came up to us. It's like, we came to see you. Like, we came to see you guys. And
was
it was
that
like,
the same person that gave you the isopods?
Yes.
Let me get
those things on the counter still. But so it gives us a lot of motivation. So if you've ever come to the shows, just give us encouragement. It helps us when we come back. Then we're like, all right, what can we do next? What are we going to do? What are we going to surprise people with next?
So I don't know if it was his plan to give you these from the start, and that's why he had them. But like,
I don't know. He's awesome.
I just come back to the table and she's like, he gave me isopods, and they're big. They're the biggest ones I've ever seen.
These things are ridiculous.
So I'll help you out.
Thank you. Oh,
but they're huge. One of them's got to be an inch in size. So like they're giving the shrimp a run for the money. They're not really as colorful as some of the other types. Like I really like the powdered orange just because they breed so crazy and then they run around rapid when you have the tank just opened up for a second. But they're massive, and it was a really cool to see somebody come out to they bought some shrimp and plants, and then she got isopods out of the deal. So it was a really great show. It was a great turnout. And like she said, you really get motivated. You start talking with other people who have the same passion as you, who are as driven as you are. And you start talking about projects you want to do together. They start asking you, oh, what are you getting into? You got anything you haven't talked about before? And you're like, oh, all right, I'll let you in on a little secret. This is what you got going on. And then you're like, the cat's out of the bag now, Shelby. We got to go home. We got to get it done, or else we're just talking. And we don't talk, just talk. Like I was like telling people, oh, we're going to get this tank stand done before Christmas. It's going to be no problem. I don't care if there's $1 per gallon sale. We need to get this tank stand running and going. And sadly, what happened was basketball got me good, and I broke the ankle, and everything slowed me down. But true to our word, the tank stand is done. I think we're 3 weeks into the cycle now. So one more week. Maybe we'll start adding shrimp to some of the tanks next week. It would be really nice to have shrimp in the tanks before Jason gets here. I do have like an order of $800 worth of shrimp that I have to put in for shrimp for these tanks. I have a bunch of shrimp that we need to split up. We have multiple groups of shrimp coming. I don't want to give any spoilers, but we got some new shrimp coming. We've got some shrimp that gave us troubles in the past. We're trying those again. We were getting some extra shrimp to mix up the generational bloodlines and stuff like that. So those should be all arriving on Wednesday from 2 different breeders. So I'll be doing like some unboxing video for you guys. That's probably going to be the next video. I wanted to do, I'm dying now. I wanted to do a video of the updates and stuff that we've done out in the greenhouse and breeding the Neos outside, especially since it's now summer. But Just haven't had time. We've got footage. It's all sporadic, so we just need to get time where we're settled and not running 100 miles an hour. But
Matt said Grant's sporting that Tennessee Fish Mafia hat.
It's legit.
T-shirt
it's from Ed himself. If you don't get it from Chattanooga Ed, it's not the real deal.
It's gotta say Tennessee. It ain't real if it ain't say Tennessee.
Yeah, and
the real one.
And Ed's
support
like,
the real
here,
one.
try it on before. I'm like, I don't care how it fits, man. I'm gonna buy it anyways. I got a collection of hats that I don't wear that I just bought them because it was a Colorado and I didn't buy anything for myself in Colorado. So I was like, I'll get myself a hat. I might wear it one day, but I kind of got it for you because it's purple. But like there was not this hat, my Colorado hat. But yeah, I mean, this is a hat that I would for sure wear.
If it was purple, I would wear it.
And it fit without me even having to adjust it. So that's how you know.
Nice hat. Yeah. It's definitely a good quality hat. We've gotten some terrible ones. Like I get some from work all the time, and they're just terrible hats. And I've got like 30 bags for you. And
then not only that, but Shelby's got the shirt on as well. Oh, Jesus. I'm not paying attention.
You need sleep.
I don't listen to you either. I don't pay attention.
Mutual.
And then there's ABC Biotope Creations.
Hey, how you doing?
I went back and rewatched your stream with Rico.
He was so upset missing it. He was like,
I missed it by
I missed it.
Like
and I was
7
like,
minutes.
What are you talking about? And he's like,
I missed it by like 7 minutes. I forget what we were doing, but I was very bummed out.
He was.
I rewatched it though. It was a great stream. I love watching Rico's streams, especially the ones he does with Ed and everybody. I love watching the Fish fam get together and collaborate.
Aquarium guys. So the campaign to get her sub stars. You are going to eat that fish food.
Oh man.
Crypt Keeper says he doesn't have a TikTok, but I think I'm going to sign up. You should.
And then I've got a question for y'all. If we've got a video and it has 300 views on her TikTok, but it's got 300,000 views on her TikTok and 700,000 views on our Instagram, it's the same video. Does it still count as a viral video even though the views are from two different platforms? Or does it have to be 1 million views on the same platform? We're in a debate here. It's an argument. But I think the Instagram is going to keep on trucking and we might hit it. I'm going to die, though, if everybody says, no, it has to be 1 mil on one platform. And then the whole thing caps out at 980.
Yeah.
I'm going to be devastated.
He knows someone who tried the can of worms Zoom Med food. No, that is terrible. It's not like cat food looking stuff.
That is disgusting, man. Yeah, no, that would be something I'd feed the caiman lizards and stuff. But like, we might have some of that for your pew puffers, though. I think your pew puffers might like to try that. But and then Oliver Knott did the not guppy grass, the duckweed. That was even out of my league, but I think I'd rather do the Bug Pro. Though. I'd rather do Bug Pro than the duckweed.
I could do duckweed. I could just sling it back, put it in a shot glass, it gone. I like veggies. It's kind of like eating lettuce.
Eating that.
I can eat lettuce straight out the fridge.
Maybe with some like
weird bunny
sriracha and soy sauce or something. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
We got for the stickers, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to
you need to do. Did you get the Canvas Pro?
Yeah.
So we need to take some nice photos, and then we need to make some shrimp stickers.
That's what we should do. That'd be cool. I don't know what Lewis is saying.
You're just gonna have to read them.
You better be feeding your tank from the same container to prove the legitimacy. I
mean, we are almost out of Bug Pro, so if it hits,
better not be.
No, we are. If it hits the thing,
don't touch my container.
We can get it from the Florida Fish Co-op, so it's not an issue. We get it the next day. I'm a man to the word. I'll order it.
Leo said he subscribed. I saw he was the first one. He was like doing it.
Luckily,
he's gonna eat this.
Luckily, there's only like 30 people at a time watching the channel tonight. So yeah, Unless you all share to 30 friends who share to 30 friends, I think we're all right.
Mason's got these good questions tonight. I like these would you rather. Would you rather not be able to grow any plants at all or only be able to have duckweed? I would say screw plants altogether. Goodbye. Not doing it.
Yeah, that's not fun. That's a horrible question.
Yeah, duckweed is terrible. It's the worst thing in existence to me. You know, it's kind of cool when like people are doing those videos and they got the little stencil cutouts and then they spoon out the duckweed, but like that's as cool as it is. That's
so we would do
Done.
all hardscape tanks. That's what it would end up.
Yeah, those are actually pretty cool. Besides your tank sucks.
You're hating. So I'm gonna bring the Dragonstone tank to the Triple Crown, and I'm gonna see if that tank's
that thing's not even gonna make it. You're gonna have to reorganize all the rock.
That'll be easy. I set that tank up in like 20 minutes.
All he did was throw it in there.
It took longer for me to break 400 pounds of Dragonstone into little pieces. Now that I have the little pieces, you're done for.
I got dwarf orange crayfish. Will they do well with the shrimp, or should the shrimp be by themselves?
If we're talking Carradina shrimp, yeah, they both do very well in the same parameters. Treat the parameters for the crawfish, so do a little bit harder water for them, and you want a lot of hiding spots. The people that breed the dwarf orange near us, the CPOs, he recommended, and that's John at the Mermaid Farms. He braided them in with a 1-inch PVC pipe, cut them about 4 inches long, and you want some that are open on both ends for the babies to run in and out of to hide. And then you want some with caps, like 3 or 4 at least, so that way the females can go in there and protect themselves when they're buried up. And they should be breeding like crazy, and the shrimp will just kind of hang out. And the crawfish are kind of too slow. Like anytime the crawfish like try to clamp at them, the shrimp usually no, Shelby's no shrimp. But the crawfish usually are too slow, and the shrimp get away just fine. Yeah. Unless they're sick or dying, that I haven't seen any casualties with assassin snails or crawfish.
So funny thing about that, we used to have the electric blue it's like electric blue crayfish.
The alien eye.
And we'd sit there and we had them over in a 10-gallon tank with shrimp in there, and we just sit there waiting. And we actually watched shrimp get on the claws of the crayfish and wouldn't even bother it. It was like, I don't have the effort. It would be. I think
he's tried so many times that he knows I'm just gonna wait and take the shrimp food.
So we definitely proven they were way too slow for him. Now, like sick or ill, and even buried ones might have a problem because they're not as fast. But we've never, especially the dwarf ones, aren't going to be a problem.
And I tried to get my shrimp out of one of my crayfish tanks so many times. I would catch every single shrimp in the tank, and it seemed like 2-3 months later, there's buried ones reproducing. So they did very well for each other for us. You just need a lot of spots for them to hide.
Scruffy City Aquatics. Hey, everyone. It was nice meeting you both at Aquaticon. I was at the ETAA booth behind you, and I bought some Crypticorn from you.
Wow, how's it going, man?
How you doing? We definitely remember you.
Yeah, hopefully you guys do well, and we see you at another meeting as well.
Yep, and I hope the Crypticorn does good for you. That's like one of my favorite plants. It's gorgeous the way it grows up and then right on top of the water like that. It just looks really cool, just like the rivers. They have that. It grows up and then goes with the flow of the rivers. So. And
it would be really nice to speak at your guys' club. Now that we've already been up in the area, there was another fish store that we wanted to kind of check out too. Ray Aquatics said it was really nice. So Ray is a great judge of character. So if he says it's worth going and checking out, next time we're in town, we're going to definitely stop by. Yeah. We should have on the way. Maybe it was closed at 8 o'clock, but we passed it. We thought maybe we'd get in before they shut the doors on us at Aquaticon, and we could maybe set up Shelby's tank really quickly, but no luck. They shut the doors 6 minutes before we got there. I saw one of our buddies from Fritz Aquatics, thought I'd turn around and say hi, and he was gone. So we went to the hotel.
Yeah. And if we go to Tennessee again, hopefully we'll make like a little family trip out of it this time.
And I want to go to the aquarium. It's not an
Mhm.
actual aquarium like the Florida aquarium or anything. It's a pet store called the Aquarium.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and they said it was really nice, but one of the higher ends. I hope that's not the same store. But
Jamie asked, have you tried Glass Garden snowflake, pumpkin, and carrot, or snowflake shard and spinach?
not the Glass Garden brand. I have had many things from Glass Garden, and they're usually like kind of more on the expensive end for very similar products like pumpkin, carrot, and snowflake and spinach. They're all very generic brands that you can find pellet in different brands for a little bit cheaper.
And Sandy asked, what can we do to see you eat shrimp food?
I'll eat some spinach. I'll eat some carrots. I'll eat some garlic. I'll eat some pumpkin, but just not in pellet form. Nothing yet.
Yeah. And asking what the TikTok, I don't know what the handle means. I'm assuming you just mean the name.
It's the T.G.O.E.
Let's see if I can get that to
Shelby
focus.
K. Don't try it. It's not.
It's gonna
never
work.
Gonna work. Oh. And we
That
just
was
got
long
a new
enough.
ring light. I don't know if I'd look as pale as I usually do, but
You're still pale. Don't
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
the gingivitis will never leave.
You guys ever think about setting up memberships to help support channel? Oh, we just went over that. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't know if you were here
Whenever
when we had just
I can
mentioned
figure it
that.
out.
No rush or
I
anything
haven't
like
even
that,
done
but
moderators.
We've got some ideas, and I would love to get some activities going for members as well.
We discuss a lot, but we get sidetracked a lot. Both of us have so much going on that like we'll turn around and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, the 10 tasks we have. And he's like, I'm doing these 10 tasks. And I'm like, all right, well, one day we'll come together and it'll all get done. It usually does. That's how the rack got built. Red tiger and black tiger mix with orange-eyed tiger. Is it bad and what will you get?
So you can kind of mix all of the red tigers, the black tigers. They're all Carradina marina, and they will make kind of normal tigers, but it's how you make the red tiger orange eyes with blue body, or the orange eye blue tigers with red stripes. However, which way you want to swing it. But the orange eye crosses are for sure one of the best and most fun things. And then you might even get a funky wonky looking guy in there and use him for a different crossbreeding project as well. And if you're mixing with the rusty types and stuff like that, are you really getting a lot? 5.
5 more.
She's got me worried.
So 7 altogether.
I'm not worried.
Just from this one though. I'm gonna post it on every forum.
Mother's Day is 6 days away.
We got this. We got this, guys.
How much are you at? 1,300.
Too many now.
1360.
We got this.
I'm fine. My taste buds are good.
So Ebor Millie, I hope I said that right. I hope I didn't butcher that. I'm sorry if I did. You guys should get some aquatic isopods. I love those things. We actually have them, and we sent some out today.
No, don't say that. I mean, I guess
we had 10 packages out, but they would have to guess who it was.
Okay.
It's a surprise. But
no, we have some for Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, I got her some, so it's been almost a year. And there's several different types of aquatic isopods, though. And I even know there's some on the river that maybe they're not isopods, but they're definitely something that I didn't want to leave in my hand. I was a little girl about it, and I threw it away. But next time, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to catch it. And who knows, maybe it's some kind of weird insect larva that I really didn't want to bring home. But we're going to find out. And I want to go down to like the pond, maybe not at the end of our street. Maybe we'll catch the guy that has the pond that's closest to our house outside, and can ask him very nicely if I can take some water out of the pond and some mud, more importantly. And I will really want to start a wild pond, because you probably know the names of the bugs a lot better. But when we were at the Florida State Fair, there was a bunch of little mini
sunburst beetles.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
didn't know
I
they were
can't wait.
Florida native, but there was a bunch of little displays and exhibits for a lot of the native bugs and the good ones, the bad ones, and stuff like that. So we want to try and maybe catch some of those and start a little tank, because Shelby definitely enjoyed that video that went around with all the little invertebrates, and they caught her eye. Cool. And if she wants them and I want them, you can believe they're gonna be part of the house sooner or later.
Yep. Also, we do have a YouTube video for the Aquatic Isopods. I don't know if he said that. I was spacing out. I'm getting tired.
The Mother's Day video. I surprised her with isopods.
On my TikTok, I also have a funny clip of one. So.
Free falling. They just like glide down.
We just lost like 5 people watching because you started singing.
Good. Then they won't join the TikTok or hear about it.
Frank said, close to 2-hour stream. Shelby and Grant going strong tonight. Sometimes we definitely.
I'm ending it at 2 hours though.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Okay,
we got to catch up on chat. I see you're trying.
I know.
So we're both on the same track.
Lewis said, can't wait to see you eat fish food. Me either.
Oh man.
Liquid Zeus, hello. I don't know if I saw you come in. So
yeah,
thank
I said
you
hello,
both
Matt.
for. Oh, okay.
I already forgot. We skipped someone came. We skipped Robert and.
Mentioning the real deal part. All of their gotcha. Sorry. I had to think about that for a second. All of their links are at their Fish Fam link profile. Yes, that thing. If you don't know about Fish Fam link, you need to, because it's the only way I keep up with anything, because YouTube does not like to give me any notifications that anyone is going live. So the only way that I know if anyone is live is through Fish Fam link. So if you don't have that, it's fish. Let me say exactly, because if you just look up Fish Fam link, that's not going to work. It's fishfam.link. If you don't look it up that way, you're not going to find it.
And I believe it's Matt that is in charge of running everything, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to double check that right now. But it
says all we have to do is all 30 go watch your videos. It will push your account to others.
All right. So, I believe it's Matt that went through and added us onto the Fish Fam. So thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you adding all that. I thought I was going to have to go through and apply and get everything done and taken care of, but it was a very nice surprise when we were on the stream, and I think Monster Fish Gal or somebody was sharing our Fish Fam link. I didn't even know we had one. So thank you, Matt. I think I said thank you to the wrong person and never gave you justice. So I'm happy I brought that up and remembered. I'm just horrible with names, but I had a feeling it was him.
I like this one. Imagine sending someone a prank duckweed glitter bomb in the mail instead of glitter duckweed. Pretty good one.
Oh,
it's like when you get a bag of shrimp from people and it's filled with duckweed.
No, they have those black bags where you can't see anything in them. You just fill it with duckweed and one $100 shrimp, and you have to clean all the duckweed out to get the shrimp.
Is it worth trying to breed my own red fancy tigers, or should I buy someone else and selectively breed from there?
So yes, it is worth breeding them to make your own legit red fancy tigers. There are so many red fancy tigers out there that are not true what they should be, where they've you made yourself back into the stream. The security guards busted in and said, it's time for you to leave. You got to tuck me into bed and turn off all the lights. So, man.
It's not a dog.
So back to the fancy tigers. A lot of them have, back lines or the double pigment gene. And when that is involved, I don't really think that they're true fancy tigers. However, everyone of the breeders, Vin, Mo, they all say that they did not add the Taiwan bee genes into them, that they just showed up. Maybe Vin admitted to it, but Mo swears after 10 generations that they'll all get it. But I'm making my own from scratch. I use pure red line mixed with red tigers, and I was able to get some very nice fancy tiger looking shrimp within 2 generations. Not complete fancy tigers, though. I said looking shrimp because they were not full coverage head to toe. And on the pigment scale, there were gaps and breaks, but very nice dots on the head and very, very nice. She's getting double dogged right now. But
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
They're a lot of fun project, but you can, for $8 on eBay now get like somewhat legit fancy tigers. So they've definitely gone down in prices. I don't like to sell mine that cheap. I like to keep mine as long as possible, and they sell pretty well.
And yes, we went to Aquatic Marine. We were super happy. I got some of my new stone. Talked about it a little earlier, so super happy. It was nice to see a good store for once. Alan said, "Great. How do I get the walls of my aquarium to turn green? I cannot do it for the life of me." Sorry. That's Thea Thickums, by the way. She's our chunky dog.
I don't know how that looked on screen.
It's
I thought it would be
hilarious.
funny with me just carrying the
Poor
dog
baby. She's probably freaked out. So
The walls of
that's
your aquarium
aging.
turn. We got to answer this fast,
Yes.
past the 2-hour mark. You get green walls, especially when you got light hitting from both sides of the glass. So what'll happen is the tank inside the light's coming from this side, and then your tanks from your house are coming in on that side, and it's basically double sun photosynthesis for the algae. I don't know if it's photosynthesis. That's why I'm not a plant guy. But yeah, they're basically getting double the nutrients that they need to grow, and it gets the green walls really quickly. So lots of light from both sides. If you have painted glass or painted tanks, good luck getting that. You might want to take it off.
And assassins won't eat baby shrimp.
No, I haven't seen assassin snails eat any shrimp that wasn't already dead. And very rare have I ever even seen it, like maybe twice in the entire time of us keeping assassin snails. My aunt wanted assassin snails. I forgot all about her. I'm sorry, Vanja. If you're watching, I'll message you tomorrow.
We'll definitely get to you about coming to the club. Thanks for buying the sticker. It was our first show, and we didn't know everyone was giving them away.
I made the sticker all the way home, safe and sound, without getting damaged. Stayed in my pocket. I thought maybe there's something still left in my pocket, but I cleaned out the pockets just because of the stickers. So there's no laundry stickers for sure. And then TGOE Shelby K. Thank you, Matt. Or is it with a Y? Though, not a K? E?
Yeah, K-A-Y-E.
It's with an E.
Y.
We got to hurry this up.
I like using coral with a lot of holes that shrimp and dwarf crayfish hide in. Also, the coral release calcium and collect algae. Yes, it is wonderful. We use those for our Suluese tanks. We like to cure those. Those are salt. Yeah. In a tank while it's cycling for 30 days, we leave the lights on, and it helps the algae growth. And it's really good for Suluese shrimp because Suluese shrimp usually have full algae rocks out in the wild, and those are the ones they like to hide in and graze upon, and all the food and nutrients get on there, and it's better for them to eat.
The best moss is the moss that grows best in your tanks. You want the most moss possible for the most surface area. At the same time, you don't want maybe too much moss to overgrow the tank to the point where you can't see anything. So I recommend like hooker moss. It's a great one that grows pretty slowly, but it's quite high in demand. We're actually sold out of it. Somebody bought way too many portions of it, and I had to clear out a couple tanks that were used as grow out tanks, and I cleared them out. We still have other tanks, but not as many as I'd like. So definitely 5 or 6 of these 10-gallon tanks up here will be used just to grow hooker moss, because you don't have to trim it back as much, but it's still a very nice lush green plant that takes nutrients out of the water.
Was having problem with molting, but once the coral was placed in the tank, I haven't had issue. Yes, and feeding more protein will also help with that. Thank you, Nano Aquarium guy.
You guys are trying to get me to eat this bug crow, eh?
Thanks for going strong tonight and giving a great stream. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, GK Aquatics. I will be getting with you very soon, man, and going over the list. We were at lunch the other day, and I went over the list with Shelby, so we just needed to wait. I wanted to get in touch with you before Jason comes in town. Or if you're coming to the meeting, maybe we can just meet up there, and you can bring them with us. Well, thank you again, Matt. And if there is $100 shrimp in there, send me 20 pounds of duckweed. So worth it.
That's like finding a needle in a haystack, though. Just dump it in the whole tank, I guess. What can you mix with Black King Kong shrimp?
Any Carradina, and you're going to get a lot of different things, but Black King Kong is one of the best crosses. Taiwan bees, you're going to have a lot of fun. Very off the first bat, you're going to get Thai bees cross back, and you get Thai bees. So there's a lot of things. It's like the source for pintos and everything like that.
187. Thanks, you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching.
And no hesitation with the name anymore. We
yeah,
know who you are
I
now.
had to read it like 3 times again.
Oh no,
terrible! But
I saw it right away. I was like, is she gonna do it?
Shrimp says that's enough talking, guys. I know, and I hate when he gets on me because I'm allergic to him. So now I'm like extremely itchy. Ugh.
No worries, man. I do it all the time too, and it also, especially the one at the very end, I'll send and hit end, or I'll end and hit send right away because I think I hit everything right, and then it's like I can't backtrack it now. It's done.
And welcome to the stream. Hi, I have a problem with my Carradina shrimp. They are not fully molted and they are dead.
So I can stay along just a little bit longer. You have an issue, so let's try to get on this. And I need to know if you're doing water changes and how long you've had the shrimp and the parameters that you're currently keeping them at. But more than likely, you need to match the parameters from where the shrimp came from. And if they're not molting, maybe do a water change, increase the oxygen in the tank, and fresh, clean water is going to be your friend here for sure.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you've had them for a while now and they're not fully molting and dying, it might be diet. If you're not feeding a variety of food and only one type of food, they do need different things in order to molt.
All right. That sounds great, man. I have plenty of free time tomorrow. We got everything on our to-do list taken care of today. So it's back to water changes for me tomorrow.
It's going to happen. Just accept it.
All right. Have a good night, Robert. Nice of you to join us. And I will be, we bought the lights. We bought the Aquatic soil. We bought a couple other things that are on my list. Shrimp soil. Shrimp food is next. So you are on my list to get with tomorrow. And thank you, Mason, for joining us. Great questions. And we will see you.
Have a safe trip.
Yeah, when you get back from England. Have some fun, man. And hopefully you come back with a little cool accent.
Yeah.
I know that.
You'd have to be there for like a month.
When's the last time you did a water change? And good night, Jamie. Nice of you to join us. And of course, as always, Jamie. Ray Aquatics, thank you. And you are the real hero this weekend.
Yeah. Have a good night.
But we got 120 TD. Here, just bring that up so everybody knows what we're dealing with. We got a shrimp emergency. We're trying to get this figured out. So 120 on the TDS, 6 GH, 0 KH, every week, 10% water changes. I have had them more than 6 months. So
I would think it's a diet.
Possible diet, but 10% every week. Maybe you want to increase that up to 20% or 30% because you're having deaths in the tank. I'm not sure what is your pH, and I'm assuming with the 0 KH you have Carradina shrimp. So, oh, it is Carradina shrimp. Yep. I had to scroll back up to double check.
Have a good night, Scruffy City Aquatics.
And it was great to see you again, man. Hopefully we get to talk up again and do a meeting up there. I'd love to see Tennessee again, but we'll definitely be back to Aquaticon next year.
Wonderful show.
There's a lot of vendors and people that didn't show up because it was their first one and they didn't know how everything was going to go. However, we were willing to jump in and take that risk just because of the people involved. They're great people, and we knew it'd be a great little time, little vacation. Shelby works hard in retail, and this is what she really loves to do. And for whatever reason, when I leave the booth, we just sell way more stuff. So, yeah, she's great at doing that. And even when she did 7 Seas Supply, she sold a ton of
Tissue
cultures. So
they're easy to sell. They sell themselves.
And good night, Leo. I will add you back on Facebook. I just need to go wash my hands now that I pet the dog, and he is a short-haired dog, and he's probably rolling around outside and give me a little allergies. So I'll wash my hand and come back and add you guys back on.
Good night, Gary.
And
Leo.
If that was all, man, and you didn't have any more questions on your tank, and that's all figured out, you could always message me on Facebook at Grant Eater if that doesn't help with the water changes, or go ahead and increase your GH and TDS maybe a little bit. That could always help. You've had them for 6 months, so maybe they're getting to the age where they're having a little issues. And I know anything under 140 TDS, I was really never successful in breeding shrimp. That's why I keep everything at 150. Everything's worth a new try, though. On this new rack, we're going to try some lower TDS. But for us, just personally, 150 was kind of that sweet spot. So maybe even raise the TDS a little bit if you're having molting issues. Maybe there's not as much GH in the water, and your kit might be off just a tad.
I also would, if that's not an issue, like Grant, know what you're feeding the shrimp, and then maybe we could deduct which food you should be adding into your rotation to help with the molting.
But there could be other things. It is very late. Garcia Aquatics, I'm sorry, man. We are logging out for the night.
Thanks for coming, though.
Yeah, thank you, everybody who stopped in. And if you made it this far and you weren't part of the live stream and you're rewatching this after we've posted it, thank you guys so much. Everybody involved, those who watched live and after, it really helps out. Make sure you hit a like button, subscribe to the channel, and unsubscribe to Shelby's TikTok so I don't have to eat the bug crow, because I don't know, it kind of got me scared or worried now. But I'll do it if you guys get her there. But it'll be a good Mother's Day present for her, I'm sure. So
best day ever.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
And fine, you can do it. You usually take too long though, and then there's a bunch of awkward pauses. Good night, Sandy. Thank you for joining
Sandy.
us, and thank you guys for the super stickers and donations. It will go straight back into the stream, of course.
Thank you.
Oh, Instagram tomorrow, $100 credit. If you're not on there, make sure you follow at the Garden of Eater. $100 gift card to the website. So later, guys.
Thank you.